Hello beautiful people, thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the mid-November 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Cancer. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you this month. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. But let's go and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks or month. Column number 2, we're going to take a look at what's happening just in general for the remainder of November. We're going to do a money column, a love column, and in the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get started though. Again, going back to column number 1. Oh, we're also going to do 3 yes or no questions, a crystal of the month, and a healing note for you, Cancer. But in column number 1, again, what's wrapping up and coming to a close, let's pull a summary card. You have the card absent. So you could have been feeling a little bit withdrawn, taking a little bit of time for yourself these last few weeks, Cancer. I always like to throw this out here because for whatever reason I feel like absence is associated with like being selfish, and that's not the case. So again, this is taking time for yourself, pulling back a little bit, just needing to do what you need to do. Not bad energy really, truthfully. Let's see what messages come through here though for this column. Okay, the first card that we have is the Death card. I always like to mention the Death card does not actually mean death. It's more of an indicator of changes, and it's typically a pretty big change. It's an ending of something, an indicator that it's time to move on. It's some sort of transformation. And this could be what's prompting you to withdraw a little bit and go into that kind of absent state. It's just giving yourself time and space to process as you go through this transition. The next card that we have is the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is a card of nightmares, anxiety, grief, depression. Something has been bothering you. I don't know that it's been keeping you awake, bothering you, but something these last few weeks has been on your mind and has been bothering you, Cancer. It could be related to this transition, but I think for some of you it's something separate that's going on. Again, that's just causing worry or causing a lot of thought for you. At the bottom here, we have the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is a card of waiting, patience, delayed success. You see this person planted the pentacles and now they're waiting for them to grow. I don't know. It's almost like you're waiting to see how something plays out here, Cancer. We'll see if I can give you any more information on this. But again, it's like you're waiting just to see what happens, almost is the feeling that I'm getting. Let's see what other messages I can give you on this first column. The first card we have is the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is a card of victory, award, recognition, good news, success. You're going to be really glad that you went through this transformation, went through this change. In general, again, I don't know exactly what this change is here for you, but again, it's something that's going to be really meaningful. It's something that's going to be really positive. So again, you're going to be glad that you ended up making this change. It's interesting. This is like the horse and rider are like going through the challenges of the change, and then the horse and rider here are celebrating. So this is like the light at the end of the tunnel, the success that's coming as it relates to this transformation. The next card that we have is the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups, well, anytime we have an ace card, it's a card of newness. In general, this is baby, relationship, proposal, marriage. So you could be having an issue with family, friend, loved one, spouse. Again, you're just worried about something. And I think it's going to be family related for the majority of you, Cancer. At the bottom here, we have the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is a card of low feelings. This is things like heartbreak, divorce, loss, depression. I think this is really connected to the Nine of Swords and kind of being upset and waiting to see what happens here. You're really, again, just waiting to see how things play out is the message, but it's like your feelings are upset as we wait through this here, Cancer. The nice thing is that this energy is what's wrapping up and coming to a close. So if you are feeling any of these low feelings, they should be resolving relatively soon. Let's jump into our next column, which is just general what's happening for the remainder of November, and see what messages I can give you here. The first card that we have is the Surface card, or excuse me, our summary card is the Surface card. Surface is about letting in things that are good for us and blocking out things that are not. And you want to think about like having a bubble around you, that surface, and that surface helps kind of filter in the good and the bad for you. So kind of having that protective layer around you will be really beneficial. Let's see what messages we have here though. The first card we have is the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords looks a little gloomy, but it's actually a card I really like. Even though everyone's facing away from us, their heads are hanging low, their swords stuck in the boat is moving in a forward, positive direction here, Cancer. This is again another necessary transition. I'm going to venture to say this is a continuation of the transformation we were referring to these last few weeks, but to continue to just kind of roll with it. Let the boat take you where you need to go. This could be relocating and moving for some of you as well, like physically moving. Let's take a look at our next card. We have the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is very active. It's new project, new creative idea. This is really coming through as a new beginning, and it's like a new beginning that's happening because of this change or this transformation that you're going through. Again, for those moving, it's like a new opportunity in a new town. The next card we have is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is very reliable, very patient, very hardworking. What I'm getting is that you need to give this transition time. It's interesting because these messages are pretty closely echoing each other, but a lot of the hard feelings it seems like maybe have passed here. But again, continuing to just roll with the boat. Let the boat take you where it needs to take you. Patience seems to be key here. I think that there will be hard work to do, but I don't know that you're in the point of having to do the hard work quite yet. Let's see what other messages are here, Cancer. The first clarifier we have is the Emperor. The Emperor is a very long-term card. It's a strategic card. So again, this change is really the right move long-term. So we like to see that type of energy. The Emperor is also a card of respect and leadership. Some of you could be moving into a leadership role at work, or you're really taking the lead on whatever this is, if it's not pertaining to work. But I see you kind of in a leadership position here with the Emperor. The next card that we have is the King of Wands. The King of Wands is very bold. Again, another card that means leader. So two leadership cards coming in here. Again, for those of you hoping to move into a leadership role, I would definitely take that as a great sign. But I feel like this is you leading you, or you leading this transition, this energy. With the King of Wands, this is also about like having the courage to try something new. So again, when you get to this new city or this new town, it's about capitalizing on the opportunity. So be capitalizing on whatever this new opportunity is here. And last but not least, we have the High Priestess. The High Priestess is a very spiritual and intuitive card. This is about trusting your intuition. So use your intuition, use your gut to navigate these situations or this new opportunity. Okay, Cancer, let's go and take a look at our next column, which is anything related to money. I did just buy this new deck of cards, which has kind of money messages in it. So we're going to start with the money message here. It says, time is the most important currency. Where you spend your time can determine your flow of money. In this column, we're going to talk about anything that you associate with money. Think job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have, really whatever you think of when you think of money here, Cancer. And let's see what we're working with. The first card that we have is the Temperance card. I love the Temperance card. It's a card of balance. It's a card of harmony. It's a card of moderation. Those three things together are really wonderful. So if your work-life balance has been out of whack, maybe your workload has been really light, really heavy, some balance to that. Again, maybe you haven't been able to spend the time with the family that you would like. So some nice I feel like this is more slow down. It could be speeding up for some of you because I know that goes both ways. Work can be slow, work can be busy, but balance coming in here. This is also a card of moderation, and we're getting into the holiday season, so I think it's worth a call out. I would make sure that we set a budget for the holiday seasons and stick to it, Cancer. Moderation is always good when we think about spending or saving money. It's that fine balancing act. The next card that we have is the Hermit. The Hermit is about going within for clarity. If you take a look at this light, this is the light that's within you. It's making sure that we're doing the right thing. Some of you may need to check in and see, are you budgeting correctly? Are you spending correctly? Maybe you want to buy a house. Are you saving the way you need to be saving to buy a house? Is your career advancing the way that you want? Are you actually happy in this job? Is this what you want to be doing? This is about being on your own personal path. Some of you need to break out and start your own business and leave the corporate world. You need to have those conversations or this thought with yourself to make sure that you're doing right and that you're doing what feels good. Again, I think a lot of you need that kind of internal dialogue right now. And then at the bottom here, we have the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups, again, is a card of being busy. And again, going back to that Temperance card, I think this is slowing down, or for some of you, this is things speeding up. The interesting thing about the Seven of Cups, since there's something different in each cup, it can make it really hard for us to commit to something. So some of you may want to leave your job, but you can't commit. So be aware of this additional obstacle or boundary of being non-committal. So you have to really commit and pursue what you want to accomplish, or you're going to keep bumping into that non-committal type energy. Let's see what other messages we have here. We have the Nine of Pentacles. This is a great card to have in our money column. It's a card of luxury, self-sufficiency, financial gain. So definitely money coming in this month. You could be getting like an end-of-year bonus. If you are moving into a leadership role like we were talking about before, that could lead to more money for you as well. For those of you that have had a really slow business period and business is picking up, of course, that's going to come with a lot of financial reward. This could also be like an annual raise or bonus again. So it does look like there's some new money coming in, but it's tied to a lot of different events for different people. The next card that we have is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is a card of speed, action, change, and oftentimes it's like the need to make a quick change. And again, we were talking with the Hermit. Now would be a good time to have that internal dialogue. Make sure you're doing what you want to be doing. And with that non-committal energy, you almost have to make the quick decision. Like, let's say with the example, you do work in corporate. You want to leave corporate, start your own business. I think if you think about it too much, you're going to talk yourself out of it, because we do have that non-committal energy at the bottom. So I would make prompt changes with the Eight of Wands to make sure you're actually getting the change done that you want to get done. At the bottom here, we have the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is really resourceful. I like to see this card in this column because it's about being resourceful with your money. It embraces that moderation really well that we were talking about. So just in general, a good card. I feel like you are going to have a budget for the holiday season. You're going to stick to it. So again, it's good application of the resources you have with that card. Moving on to our next column. So similar to the money column, I did buy a new love card. So I'll share you a love message here, Cancer, and then we'll get into it. Transformation. Your relationship with one another is about to deepen. Love conquers and transforms all things. Okay, so in this column, we're going to talk about anything related to love, family, friends, relationship, children, marriage, whatever you associate with love here, Cancer. The first card that we have is the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is a card of self-defense, having to protect yourself against competition. Again, I do feel like there's conflict with family for some of you, and I don't know that self-defense is the exact word, but there is like some tension there. This could be tension with spouse, but again, it feels more family driven. We'll clarify this a little bit and see. The next card that we have is the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is a card of mastering your craft, enjoying your employment. It's a card of hard work though too, and I see like you need to work through whatever this issue that's coming up. And it's interesting because this is like talking about love going to an all new level or deepening. And then we have the Fool card coming in, which is new beginning. So I like this. If you're single and wanting to enter into a relationship, I think this is great. If you're in a relationship, this is the relationship advancing. This could even be resolution with family, having a fresh start or new beginning with family as well, Cancer. So I like that Fool card in the bottom. Again, it is going to take some work to work through whatever this energy is that's happening at the top, but it seems to be worthwhile. We'll be glad we did. The first clarifier we have for the love column is the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is very active. It's new project. It's new creative idea. This conflict does feel newer. I'm going to say that, but it's like, more than anything, there needs to be compromise on both sides in order to come to a solution. I know that's not directly what this card says, but it's like, it's a new idea of how to handle the situation. It's a new idea of how to address the situation. And I'm just being honest, it's going to involve compromise on both sides. The next card that we have is the Death card. The Death card, again, does not mean death. I always like to mention that. But it is a card of transformation. It's a card of changes. It's a card of trying something different. What you're doing right now in this exact state is not working. For some of you, this could be resolving the issue. This could be entering into a relationship. This could be the deepening of the relationship. But it's interesting with the Eight of Pentacles, this is like your hard work paying off. And in the case of Ace of Pentacles here, it's like your hard work is going to pay off by this relationship transforming. At the bottom here, we have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is a very nurturing card. It's a healing card. It's a supportive card. In order to, again, accomplish what we want, there needs to be compromise there. There needs to be support for each other. There needs to be like empathy and trust and healing that happens to come up with a resolution. So really nurturing each other to get to that point of compromise or that point of agreement. Okay, let's move on to our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guides. So something to carry into the month of November with you. We have the card Reaction. This is an interesting card. This means one of two things. It means that you either, something has happened and you haven't like been able to fully process all of your feelings towards it, or it means there's something that you're overreacting to. There's too many feelings and too many emotions around something. So just keep that in mind. There's either something you should be processing, or perhaps there's something that we're overreacting to, Cancer. I hate to be that direct, but sometimes that's how the message comes through. But let's see what we're working with here. Our first card here is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is very studious, very hardworking. This could be a new love interest for some of you. But in general, I feel like this hard work is kind of manifesting, it's building, it's growing. The next card that we have is the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is about leaving a legacy. This is going to be like what you do now is going to influence the future. So keep that in mind. We're working towards building this legacy. We're working towards building this perfect life for ourselves. So these actions are going to be very important. Where you're spending your hard work, where you're spending your energy, where you're spending your hours is going to define the future there, Cancer. At the bottom, we have the Ace of Swords. This is new clarity. And I think this is really what's going to tie into the reaction card here. Again, it's going to be how you react in this current situation. These moves are defining kind of the future for you here. So what do you do with this information? How do you respond to it? How do you react to it? The first clarifier we have is the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is typically a money card. It's job, raise, promotion, investment, income. So I like to see this again. It's like your hours stacking up, working towards something. Could definitely be leading to new money for you or more money for you. But I think this is more so, again, trying to say that the hours that you dedicate and the results of them. So where you're spending your time and energy is where you're going to be getting the results. The next card that we have is the Hermit card. The Hermit card is again going within for clarity. You need to think about what you really want in the future, and are you giving your time and energy to the correct place, Cancer? Last but not least, we have the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is a card of waiting. It's delayed success. Again, this person planted their pentacles and they're waiting for them to grow. I feel like you've been waiting for an answer. You've been waiting for clarity and you're going to be getting it. So that's good. But then you do need to react. You need to assess and make sure again that we're spending our time, our hours in the right place, because this is building the future here, Cancer. Okay, let's take a look. Now we're going to do 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use our Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. But question number 1 is the 6 of Spades. This is number 29 card. That's going to be a no. Question number 2 is the 5 of Diamonds. This is number 28 card. That's going to be a yes. And question number 3 is the 2 of Hearts. This is number 19 card. That's a yes. So no, yes, yes for you, Cancer. If you watched your video earlier this month, we did pull a card from our Healing Stones deck, which is a crystal for the month of November for you. You have Moonstone, which is very feminine energy, helps with devotion, helps with intuition, and it helps navigate some of the craziness that's happening. And last but not least, we're going to pull a card from our Healing Notes deck. Your healing note says, healing is not an overnight process. It's a daily cleansing of pain, a daily healing of your life. Thank you so much, Cancer, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, when you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. If you feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you so much, Cancer, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your November.